This regular meeting of the Judson Board of Trustees is hereby called to order at 7 p.m. Please take your seats. Thank you all for coming.
We can't hear you. I don't know.
I'm on. Can you hear me? I'm on. Okay, I'm on. Please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Thank you.
You know, dear Lord, we really do thank you for our health and guiding us. You know, it's difficult out there, but I do thank you personally and on behalf of everyone here for our health and to take care of everyone. I also ask and thank you as we begin a new school year with staff and students that we have a safe and successful year and that you guide us throughout all this. We pray to the Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Please be seated. Let's establish a quorum. Mr. Salinas?
Present, sir, and good evening to our employees and some of our visitors. Thank you.
Ms. Pershaw?
Here.
Dr. Salinas?
Present.
Mr. Macias?
Present.
Mr. LaFoyle?
Present.
Mr. Flores?
Present.
Steve Salyer, I'm president of the board, and Dr. Montoya.
Happily present.
Thank you. Okay. I'm very,
Yeah, I need to introduce our staff, and I'll go from the left, my left side. Of course, we have Steve Linscomb, who's our Public Information Officer, Jackie Pettis, the Board Secretary, Dr. Fields, who handles operations and all the support areas, Ms. Irma Hernandez, the Human Resources Officer, our money person, Mr. Jose Elizondo, CFO, and to my right, Tori Austin, Executive Director of Curriculum Instruction, Dr. Cantu, Nellie Cantu, who supports college and career areas, and Ms. Elida Berra, Associate Superintendent of Administration.
Thank you. I'm very pleased that you have taken time to join us this evening. As the Judson Board of Trustees, we're here to set goals and policies and oversee the management of the district. We are responsible for approving budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and to listen to reports from the superintendent. We are not here to make administrative or management decisions pertaining to the daily operation of the district. This is the responsibility of the superintendent. In compliance with the state Government Code on Open Meetings, tonight's agenda has been appropriately posted. This is a meeting in the public, not a meeting of the public. As our guests, you are welcome to observe and listen. These proceedings are being videoed and audio recorded and will become part of Judson's permanent legal record. In order that the tape adequately reflects these proceedings, please silence your mobile devices and refrain from talking while others are speaking. Silence. Since it is legally mandated that these proceedings are recorded accurately, I may have to ask for periodically should I notice that disruptions are interfering with our recording capabilities. Once again, I extend to you, each of you, our sincere welcome for the entire school board. Thank you for your interest in Judson ISD. Thank you. Mr. Linscomb.
Well, board recognitions this evening are going to be fairly brief, but I would like to invite the board members to come out here to the front, and we've got one special recognition that we want to let everybody know about. Judson ISD Police Chief Teresa Ramon. Chief, why don't you come on out here just for a moment? You can stand right here just for a moment, if you would. She has been helping keep our students and staff safe for years now, and her contributions to school safety even go beyond the district boundaries. And because of her impact here and beyond, at its recent state conference, the Texas School-Based Law Enforcement, Texas SBLE, recently awarded her with a Lifetime Achievement Award. This is a pioneering award that recognizes law enforcement officers who have established and sustained efforts towards keeping schools safe and secure. Let the board recognize you this evening. Chief Ramon has built her 20-year career, 14 here at Judson ISD, not only around knowing the law as it applies to school safety, but also consideration and professionalism with student and staff both.
All right. Hey, everybody, look forward and smile. Thank you so much.
All right, congratulations.
Phil, no Phil.
Now, as you take your seats there, we do have one student representative. Of course, JECA, Judson Early College Academy, has already begun classes. They started Wednesday, and their student representative is here, Mackenzie Pineda. Where is she? And those are the recognitions for this evening.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Jackie, do we have any? None? Okay, we'll move right on. Consideration of consent items. If you want something pulled, say pull. 4A, consider and take action regarding improving monthly financial information as of July 31st, 2016. 4B, consider and take action regarding improving expenditures equal to or greater than $50,000. 4C, consider and take action regarding approving request for proposal proposal 16-01 for fundraiser products and services. 4D, consider and take action regarding.
Pull.
You want D?
Oh, I'm sorry, not D. Thank you for asking.
Okay.
It's the next one.
Okay, 4D, consider and take action regarding approving request for proposal 16-21 for property and liability insurance. 4E, is that what you want, pull?
Yes.
Pull. Okay. 4F, consider and take action regarding approving request for proposal 16-22 for special education, instructional and related services. 4G, consider and take action regarding approving update to DNA local performance appraisal evaluation of teachers, second reading. 4H, consider and take action regarding approving update to DNB local performance approval evaluation of other professional employees, second reading. 4I, consider and take action.
Pull.
4I.
Yes.
Okay, 4J, consider and take action regarding approving updates to the district concession oversight teams. That's it. Okay, we will be voting on 4A, C, D, F, G, H, and J. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Motion, Mr. Salinas, second, Mr. Okay. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passed. 4B, consider and take action regarding approving expenditures equal to or greater than $50,000. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Ms. Michelle, second, somebody down there. Mr. Macias. Renee?
Thank you. I have one question. I'd like to know, on page 22, Fred J. Miller Incorporated Custom Cesario Jackets for new JISD for $43,000, and I'd like to know what that is, what it means.
Mr. Elizondo, do you know that information?
I wouldn't mind answering that question, except that unfortunately, I don't know how y'all want to address this because that's on a different agenda item. That was actually on agenda item number A.
Well, there was expenditures exceeding 50,000.
5A.
That's not 50,000.
If it is on page 22,
Right.
then that was
Well, that was
agenda
A, not
item.
B.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to withdraw my motion.
Okay.
We'll be happy to give you that information though. Right after
Thank
this
you.
meeting, I'll be happy to meet with you
All
and
right.
give you the.
But I still have,
Good.
I had a question on that agenda. item
Did you?
before, Yeah. My question was specific. Let me put my mic on, because you could probably hear me a little better. My question was regarding the College Board. There's a $148,000 fee for sole source. I always just like to get a little more background on what it is. I know it states here that it's for the purchase of SAT exams for 11th and 12th graders for all campus locations. So it would be for all 3 of our high schools, or 4, for JECA as well, or if you can just give me some clarity there.
Mr. Macias, can you give me a page number that you're looking at, please?
It's page 24.
Yes, this is College Board provides materials for our students for SAT prep, and also, so what you see here, it's for the exams for all 11th and 12th grade students at all our campuses, and this amount also includes a PSAT exam fee for all 10th and 11th grade students in the district. So it is not limited only to the early college high schools.
Last year, or it may have been 2 years ago, I inquired about our expenditure for this. It was, I think, $74,000 at the time, which I asked if there were any alternative means in which to obtain this service as opposed to going to just a college board. So I'll ask again, at this point, I'll support this measure, but just from looking at other options, are there other options, or are we really tied to only utilizing the college board for this expense?
Yes, if Mr. Macias, College Board is a sole source for this type of
So
exams.
that's what that sole source means?
That is
There is
correct.
no other viable candidate? I'm kind of curious on how much the cost has kind of gone up. The reason I ask is because I'm planning to attend this year's College Board Conference, and as a board member, I'm going to complain about the cost and the increased cost, and if I can sort of get an idea of what that's looking like, I'll at least be able to say, what are you guys doing to us? So if you could get that.
We can get you that
document for
breakdown, sir.
Yeah, we can get a history, like
Yeah.
3 years or something.
A 3-year history is what would be appropriate. Anyway,
We'll do
thank
that.
you. That's all I have.
Anyone else? All in favor, say aye. Aye. That was 4B. Okay, 4E, consider and take action regarding approving a request for proposal 17-03 for, no, we passed that one, didn't we? We're F. 4F. You pull E? We pulled E?
Yes.
Consider and take action regarding approving request for proposal 17-03 for health insurance. Do I have a motion? Discussion? Dr. Salinas?
Yeah, just a quick question. I noticed that it says all proposals were reviewed by district staff. Does that include just Miss Moose and Miss Moore, the people who signed?
No, we had an insurance committee. Come to the
Yeah.
mic. Yeah, thanks.
We did have an insurance committee that was made up of approximately 40 individuals throughout the district, professional and paras, that participated in the recommendation as well.
Right, I see where it says that the information was presented to the insurance committee, but prior to that, it says the proposals were reviewed by district staff. That's a committee then that reviewed the proposals?
Well, we reviewed it, and we had so many things, and we tried to put it all together, and we presented the proposals to the committee.
Right, that's
And
what I
if
was
may,
asking.
Dr.
Who is the
Salinas,
we?
let me answer your question.
Okay.
The proposals were reviewed by myself.
Phone.
It's on.
Phone's on.
Yes. Were reviewed by myself and one of the purchasing specialists. They were also reviewed by Ms. Moose and also Alamo Insurance Group.
Thank you, that's my question was. And thank you, Ms. Moose, for sharing that we had at least 40 individuals. Can we get a list of the committee members who are on the insurance committee?
Absolutely.
That's all I have.
Anyone else? Mr. Macias?
And I don't know who can give me a clarity on that, but we've also discussed in the past the time that we allow the insurance committee to review and staff to review. So can you give me an idea of what that timeline looked like? Did they have ample time to review the changes?
As far as the district administration and Alamo Insurance, we did have ample time. Actually, we released a request for proposal directly to the insurance carriers. We received their responses. We gave them plenty of time to respond to us. I think it was a 3 or 4 week period of time. Then it was reviewed by, like I said, all the administration here as well as Alamo Insurance. Tabulation sheet was prepared, kind of making sure, kind of taking what they're proposing and summarizing it. Then Ms. Moose and Alamo Insurance met with each one of the individual carriers to say, hey, this is what we think you proposed. Let's make sure we're all on the same page. They reviewed it. They had their meeting, their interviews, and said, yep, that's exactly what we proposed. If there were any changes, they made them. And then after that, we went to the insurance committee and presented it to the insurance committee.
And ample time meaning August or July or June?
Oh, the actual solicitation was released. It was actually advertised on July the 6th and July the 11th. And then the submittals were opened on July the 26th. And then it was reviewed by the staff. And then after that interview with the proposers, the insurance companies, then we did a best and final, saying, hey, give us a little bit better. We know what else can you do to make this a little bit better for us. Then after that was done, Tracy, what was the date that we actually met with the insurance committee with the staff here? Do you remember the date? It was August
It was a Monday.
It was a Monday.
It was the first Monday in August.
I think it was the second. I'm sorry, it was either the first, second Monday in August? The first? Okay. And so we met with the insurance committee, and as far as, how much time, we reviewed every one of the proposals with them, or the proposals that were pertinent. Some of them just didn't meet our criteria, so we didn't review those. We reviewed each one of the proposals with them. Alamo Insurance was there, Tracy was there, I was there, and several other members from the benefits department. Went through and discussed each one of them, kind of the pros and cons. They highlighted each one of the proposals. And then the insurance committee reviewed them at the meeting. And really, it was kind of not a very difficult decision to make once they looked at the proposals and what each one of the insurance companies was offering as far as rates for the premiums that were being offered, as well as the plan benefits. And so it was pretty much a unanimous decision to go with the proposal that's being presented here, which was the one from Aetna Insurance.
Yeah, the Aetna scored 94.8 points.
Yes, sir.
And I heard something in the news, and I can't think of who, but one of the insurance companies has decided to pull out of the Affordable Care Act.
Sure.
Was it
there's-
Aetna?
There's a
It
number of
wasn't.
them that have been doing that, and the latest one is Aetna.
That doesn't have any adverse effect for us in any way, shape, or form as a district?
No, not for this. What they were finding is that in some of their marketplaces, there were more in the rural areas.
Okay.
There weren't either enough participants to make it viable because they were losing a lot of money, or they didn't have the negotiating power in those particular areas because there was maybe only one hospital or only a few doctors, so they really couldn't negotiate prices, and they just found that they were losing too much money and couldn't operate in those markets anymore.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
Anyone else? We're voting on 4E. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we'll go to 4I. Consider and take action regarding approving the certified list of appraisers for the 2016-17 school year. Can I have a motion? Motion. Second? Second. Dr. Salinas.
Thank you, Ms. Austin, for the updated list. That was one of my questions, because on the first list that we had, it left off several administrators. So just to clarify, every single principal and every single assistant principal has passed their certification test. And then I noticed that this one also lists some additional certified district appraisers. So are we affording teachers a second appraisal?
Yes, we'll provide that in the procedures,
Okay,
if necessary. So we have 9 additional appraisers that can serve in that role if necessary.
okay, perfect. That's all I had.
Anyone else? We're voting on 4I. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we'll go to discussion items. 5A, consider and take possible action regarding approving official campus names for the newly designated early college high school as identified by the Texas Education Agency. 1, Judson High School and Early College IB World School. Karen Wagner Early College High School. 3, Veterans Memorial Early College High School. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second, Mr. Macias. Go ahead.
Mr. President, I have a change that I'd like to request. Judson High School, as you know, we are phasing out the IB program.
Right.
So it's probably a good idea to delete the IB world now.
To
So
what
if I,
now? Just Judson, an early college, high school?
correct.
Okay, we got to do a motion to amend
IB,
then.
'cause that was-
Yeah, okay. Anything else? Okay, IB is going away.
Right.
So it has IB World School, so we're just taking out IB and putting an early college, high school like the others. Okay, so we'll need a motion to amend in a minute. Anything else, Dr. Cantu?
No, sir, thank you
Okay.
for asking.
I need a motion to amend before we go any further
I'll
on,
make a-
1.
I'd like to make a motion that we amend Judson High Schooler and Early College IB World School to Judson High School and Early College High School.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Second, Dr. Salinas. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay. That was just change the name.
Oh,
we had to change the name before we can discuss it. Ms. Bashaw?
Thank you, Mr. Sawyer. Dr. Montoya, I would like to know, I called you earlier on this, but I'd like to have it on record. Are the 3 schools going through a new naming process?
Again, obviously, the TEA approved these schools as early college, high school designation, but we are not changing any of the physical pieces of a school. Example, let's just use Judson High School. It's Judson High School, early college, high school, if you approve it, but we're not going to go back and change signs and redo gym floors and, any of that. It's basically allows staff to, and I'll use a primary example. There's some teachers that wanted to print cards, business cards, and it would have Judson Early College High School and the teacher's name, and if a parent asks, well, where do you work or whatever, this is just in that type of thing. There may be cheerleader groups or support groups that want to have, like shirts or banners or whatever that they can have and to raise money. And so it's not in any way going back literally to change signs or gym floors or walls, that have been there for years and years. It's just on some of the side peripheral areas that, if a person wants to have, early college, they can advertise, because it is prestigious to have that as you talk to the community or your kids or whatever. Just a quick aside, we did do some quick research. I think there were basically 14 other sites in the county that are early college, and a lot of them do similar things. They don't change anything physically, they just keep the same name, and they add in terms of, as they advertise, we are an early college, high school, and that type of thing.
Okay, respectfully, then why are we having to approve this if we're not talking about, that's not what this agenda item says.
Mm-hmm.
And what you just said
Mhm.
doesn't coincide with what this agenda item says. So please tell me, if that's the only change, why does it need board approval?
I think we wanted the board to be aware, and have permission, so we would have the support in case somebody asked, out in public, was it cleared through the board or whatever. That's all it was. That's all it was.
But again, do you acknowledge that that is not what this agenda item says?
Well, it does and it doesn't, because if you look at, veterans or Karen, it does say early college, high school, as far as the title. But, again, we just wanted the board, number one, to be aware. Number two, we hope we have the support that, and again, it's not going to, again, I stress, it's not going to impact going into the walls or the gyms or the marquees or any of that.
And on the letter, sir, that was also submitted in the packet,
Mm-hmm.
it says that, help me understand this, Dr. Montoya. Does this letter say that that TEA did approve the designation,
That's correct.
but it does say provisionally? Does that the provision include the 3 items that these are what the district needs to do before we are officially?
No, we are early college, but over 2 years, we must develop those other pieces. This is the same format they use with all early college high schools in the state of Texas from the commissioner's office. So basically, every new early college high school is awarded a provisional. You are early college for 2 years, but make sure that you do these other things. And there's going to be more. It's not even just these 3. We have to show that we have accomplished these things, and obviously we'll have to report back to TEA every year, what the status is and those types of things.
Okay. I have another question, and that would be on page 114.
Okay?
Dr. Montoya, as I was reading the email that was sent by Dr. Cantu to this Dr. Spradley.
Mhm.
It says that on June the 7th, the board approved changing the name of Mackey High School to Veterans Memorial Early College High School on June the 7th.
Okay.
So I went back
Mhm.
and I looked at the June 7th minutes.
Mhm.
The only minutes that were documented on the website was the second part of
Yeah.
that special meeting that we had
That's
at
correct.
9:15.
Yeah.
The first part of the meeting that we had at 9 o'clock is not displayed on the website. So there's no evidence that the board approved.
They-
Please help me remember, because I don't recall approving Veterans Memorial Early College High School on June the 7th.
Okay, Dr. Cantu.
Yes, if I may provide some clarification. At this meeting, the board agreed on the name change from Mackey to Veterans Memorial High School. The reason I've included Early College High School here is because Dr. Mackey is our contact for the early college high schools, and I wanted her to understand that we're still talking about an early college high school. Dr. Spradley, I'm sorry. Dr. Spradley, and so this was important, this was a communication, and I wanted to make sure that she was aware that there would be a name change so that they could make that change at the state level, and any communication moving forward would reflect Veterans Memorial.
I didn't approve the name change the way it's written here. I did not.
So the
And you
changes-
have that the board did. I didn't.
Yeah, it was Veterans Memorial, and that's what that
So
agenda-
shouldn't it be reflected, shouldn't you reflect that properly? Correctly?
Ma'am, it's not a problem. I can make sure we clarify that for them.
And Ms. Pichelle, it is from Mackey High School to Veterans Memorial High School. You are
That's what it
correct.
should say.
Yes.
But it does
So,
not.
we need to correct that, Dr. Cantu. But again, tonight, we're asking that you do approve the other piece for those reasons that I stated earlier.
Yes, sir. I certainly do understand.
Yes, and I would just like to add that second sentence or statement that you see there, you see Judson ISD is committed and working towards full implementation of the early college high school model at Veterans Memorial High School. So again, I'm reiterating the approval of Veterans Memorial High School.
Then you should have put it above also, Dr. Cantu. You should have had it correctly.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I noticed, I don't know who does the proofreading for these packets, but I noticed several mistakes, grammatical
And we can
errors,
correct those.
typos,
Yeah, we
all
can-
through this packet.
Yeah, we can correct those, and of course, the final, it does go through the board secretary, but I think we do need to have others recheck some areas, as you stated, in terms of grammar and spelling or whatever.
I'm a former teacher. We don't
Yeah.
put things out we
That's
don't put
true.
things out that are incorrect.
Yeah, and I respect that, so we understand.
Okay, so, there's not gonna be any changes on any buildings.
No, none.
I'm a graduate of Judson High School, and that's a legacy. You don't change the Eiffel Tower.
No.
Done right. Mr. Macias?
Sitting on this board, one of the things that brings a lot of pride is our early college component, and the word in the street, if you will, is they're looking at Judson pretty closely for our initiative to build early colleges within our high schools. So it's something I'm very proud of. However, I am concerned about the name changes with early college. And one thing I want just to get on record for clarity is that, Dr. Montoya, we are not being mandated by the TEA or by Alamo colleges to change our name to early college, are we?
No, we're not being mandated, but because it is at a higher prestige to have that added to the title across Texas, all the early college add that somewhere.
Certainly. Okay, well, I wanted to make sure that that was clear, that there is no mandate that we change our name. Secondly, I thought about the designation of early college, and a lot of my thoughts would tend to believe that if we designate a campus an early college, that the entire campus is early college. And so sort of like Judson Early College Academy, every student in that program is an early college participant. But at Judson, Wagner, and Veterans Memorial, we have a small contingent of students that will begin the program, in essence, a small population of the student group that will be there. So in essence, it's truly not an early college campus. It's a high school with an early college, it's school within a school concept, which I think is appropriate in describing what we have at the present time. I get the prestige of having it designated an early college. I see the T-shirts and all that kind of stuff being really great, but we are sustaining a program that we don't know where it's headed. We'd like to think in 10 years that we've been exceptionally well, and I'm hoping and praying that we do. But until then, I'm just concerned because my vision is this. A student graduates from Judson High School. Their diploma is going to read Judson High School Early College Academy, and they could have conceivably not taken a single college course. And so it just doesn't make sense. So if you can give some rationale with that, that would be helpful.
I think, Mr. Macias, Ms. Austin, we talked about that. Early college high schools that exist today in Texas range from a student that might take one class that is considered credit in the public schools as well as at the college level, all the way to an associate degree. And I know one of the things we looked at is that we have several programs literally within our high schools, not just the early college group that we've identified at each high school, but we actually have in Kate and several other places dual credit, AP, Kate, early college. So there's about 3 or 4 or 5 mechanisms that allow the student literally to get college credit. So the reality is that all students at a high school will be allowed, or have the opportunity, I should say, to get college credit. Now, some of them may choose to just take one class or none, but they are available. You know, dual credit, AP, Kate classes that are literally already tied with a community college, and also that smaller group of early college. So, and I don't know, Ms. Austin, did I miss any other groups?
No, those are the groups. And then we also we actually contacted other early college high schools to see how they had handled this, that have a school within a school model. And they had gone with the early college as part of their title as well. We looked at camp, we have 14 in the Region 20 area. Once we took those that were standalones and then down to school within a school, they are all going to use the early college in their title.
And again, Mr. Macias, I think what we're saying is that it's not just going to be that small group that quote unquote is identified as early college. There's going to be many, many more. Now, granted, some may take more than one class or those types of things, all the way to an associate, we hope, within the next 2-3 years.
Well, again, I certainly hope and wish, and we'll work together certainly to get that program off and running. I think it's just premature at this point, in my opinion, to designate the schools early colleges. Let's see how this plays out a little bit, and then reconsider it. If we don't approve this, we're still having an early college. We're still going to grow a program.
But, you know, the parents, I think, at meetings have already, there's been several meetings at some of the schools already with the community, and the parents are very excited that it is early college, and they hope that somewhere in the wording in things that go out that it be there. I mean, that's, you know, as we've observed some of the meetings that we've had.
Well, like I said, a lot of excitement. Thank you. That's all I have.
Mr. President, if I may add one final comment, just for clarification, Dr. Montoya did a great job of explaining this, but again, this is for branding purposes with the university, so it's a name that we will use on like letterhead with the early college name, the principal's business cards, so it's more of that type of a partnership than trying to change other lettering on walls and things like that. It's on those documents that we'll be using the early college if it's approved by the board.
And the reality is the university uses a transcript as the primary measure. when a kid goes to college, they pull that and they see what classes, what credits, are there anything there that may tie dual credit, if you will, to public school credit as well as college or university. So that's really the bottom line.
Mr. Salinas?
Thank you, Mr. President Salyer. I did call about these letters because first thing that came into mind was that TEA is requiring this. Dr. Montoya explained to me, no, basically, no, TEA is not requiring that. I think by starting right now, the name change, we have 3 high schools probably have ordered all their stationery and everything under their proper names, Judson High School, Wagner High School, Veterans Memorial High School. Now, we're going to be changing this. I think there's going to be a cost of redoing all of that stationery. Dr. Montoya mentioned that some of the teachers want to do their cards, and I think most of them pay out of their pocket.
That's correct.
As far as what Ms. Paschal said, that maybe there's some grammatical errors, I read, and when I see something, I go ahead and call Dr. Montoya and advise what I have spotted. And I think if all the board members would do that, it would help. We don't have to wait till we get to the meeting to bring it out in the open. We all make mistakes, what the heck? We're just humans. But it's good to know when we're making a mistake. I think it's great. Yes, we need to let the superintendent know when some of these things happen. I don't know whether I'm ready to vote for this change tonight. At first, I was ready, but I really don't know. I'll have to wait till it's time to vote. Thank you for all the work that Dr. Montoya, you and your staff had done with this. I'm not against the early college high schools. I'm all pumped up. I'm ready. But I think as far as maybe 1 year, let's wait and see how the program gets started. I already heard some good things tonight at how it has already increased by numbers so from the last report. So that's great. And yes, it's great for our students, and they deserve it. But as far as doing it right away, I don't know. Thank you.
Just, some side comments. We have told some of our administrators that if they've printed stationery, they need to use what they have. They need to use what they have. We're not going to go back and spend thousands changing anything. But I think the board needs to understand that whether you pass it or not, respectfully, parents and the community are going to call it Judson Early College, Veterans Early College, because they already know at meetings that had been approved by the state. They already know that we're already meeting with the Alamo colleges and 3 universities. So the information is already out there. So, again, if it passes, fine. If it doesn't, it's okay. But understand that I think the community and the kids are already going to say, yeah, I'm at an early college high school, because they are. I mean, the bottom line.
Mr. Flores?
Thank you. I want to throw this out here for discussion. I don't want to make a motion yet on it, but I'm looking at it and I'm wondering if they should be like Karen Wagner, an early college high school, and Veterans Memorial, if that had been thought of, instead of putting it right there, just put the word "and," early college high school, and Veterans Memorial, an early college high school. That would signify to everybody that yes, it is an early college high school, and
it can be, and again, I'm kind of going to some of the cards, the business cards that I've literally seen. It could be Judson High School, and right underneath an early college high school. Right. There it is. That could be part of the solution.
And that's what I'm suggesting for all of them like that.
Maybe that would be the route to take. Veterans Memorial High School. and then literally, right underneath, an early college high school, because it, you know, and there it is, it covers everything. Maybe that could be.
Do I have a motion?
That could be a motion.
I just want to say one more thing.
Sure, go ahead.
Yes, sir, I agree with that, because, Dr. Montoya, we went through a name-changing debacle
Yeah.
in November, in October, and
Yeah.
November, and December, and I'm not going through that again.
No, but I think,
And those,
Yeah.
Judson and Karen Wagner are legacies.
yeah, and I think what Gilbert, if you guys want to go that way, that really does make sense. To be Karen Wagner High School, and right underneath, an early
The
college high
under-
school.
fine.
There it is.
I'll vote for that.
I'll make a amended motion on this, that the high school be named as the original high school, and then an early college high school. Underneath.
In any advertising.
Read all three of them like
In any
that.
Huh?
advertising.
Just read it like you
Okay,
want it.
Judson High School,
So we're
and
okay.
Judson High School and early college high school, Karen Wagner and early college high school, Veterans Memorial High School and early college high school.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Bashar, any discussion?
I'm confused now, sir.
Okay.
I thought we were gonna say Jackson High School and then in the bottom.
Yeah, and early.
Oh, I thought you were saying
and.
and.
And early college high school.
I
And,
stand corrected, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
any discussion?
Yeah.
Jackie?
I'm sorry, sir. I would just like the record to reflect that the 9 o'clock minutes for the June 7th special meeting and the 9:15 special meeting are both later on the website.
They are? Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
I do like that idea, Mr. Flores, but the question still remains that diplomas then, could they be left at Judson High School, Karen Wagner High School? You wouldn't have to add an early college academy on diplomas, or would you still add that name on it?
The good thing on that is we're not gonna graduate yet. You know, we probably have almost 3 years before it becomes, so we can do a little more research. Now, the initial visit with 14 early colleges in the county, the administrators told us that they're gonna list some kind of designation. They don't wanna have multiple diplomas. They said, my school is gonna have the name of the school and somewhere in there, either early college, high school. But again, we can print the diplomas any way we want, literally. It can be Judson High School, and underneath that could be, like Mr. Flores said, an early college high school. So there's a little time for the printing and what the board would like to do in the future. Plus, we'd like to research a little more what other, early colleges are doing.
Yeah, I'm a little more comfortable with that change, and so I think that it allows us to still use the principal name.
Any more discussion? Okay, we're voting on the amendment. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, only thing I want to say is if it's an early college high school, we need to call it an early college high school some way. So, we're back. Okay, any more discussion on, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on. We pulled 5B, 5C, consider and take possible action regarding approving the early college high school memorandums of understanding with Alamo Colleges for Judson Early College Academy. JECA. First and second. Dr. Montoya? you have anything?
That is the yearly MOU that the board has historically approved over the last several years. I don't think, Dr. Cantu, there's no major modifications or changes, is there, to that?
No, sir, there's some language there that appeared different, but it was not. It was in the original MOU, so there is no minor changes.
Okay.
Are we still discussing cost, or we got our costs set?
There have been no costs
No
discussed.
cost, okay, just want to make sure. Any, yes, Mr.
Go ahead,
Salinas?
Renee.
Renee, go ahead.
So, again, just for clarification, this is the original MOU?
This is based on the original one with updated, obviously, for this coming year.
Oh, I see. So they have to be annual.
Yes.
That's
To be
correct.
annual, correct.
Thank you.
Mr. Salinas?
Legal, did it go through legal?
Yes, sir. it did.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Huh?
That was pulled.
We pulled B. B was pulled. Okay, we're going to 6D, Superintendent Report, 6A.
Okay,
We
D.
got to go to closed session
Yeah.
first.
Okay. You want me to do a little bit on the
Yeah,
superintendent's
go ahead,
report?
do Superintendent.
Okay, again, I got here, I've been out of commission for a short time, and thank the Lord, I'm back.
Looking good.
Anyway, I participated in the New Teacher Academy. I went and did some presentations with the transportation group, also the child nutrition group. I also went to the county Go Public Steering Committee meeting, and also we had some meetings on the bonds that the community approved. We had to go through the Fitch and Moody, which are major rating organizations across the world. Our ratings for this district are going to be very good. They are very, very good. We also did a due diligence conference with 16 groups, lawyers, vendors, bankers that are going to help us sell the bonds. And one of the comments they made also was that the district is very stable and things are moving forward and the interest rates are low. So they felt that the timing for lease set of bonds is going to be very positive. The sales are going to be good. Now, we'll be able to, I believe, Mr. Elizondo, I think it's after the 23rd next week, right?
So that's going to be the day of the sale.
Yeah, when the sale process will begin. But the good thing is the district, again, financially is very, very stable. The ratings from Moody and Fitch are very, very high. And lastly, the due diligence group, 16 groups have told us already that we're moving forward in a good way. And then the other thing is that, just a reminder, next Monday is the first day of school with students. So we've asked the cabinet to kind of spread themselves out and visit schools, but the board is also welcome to visit schools as the kids and parents and stuff. So, pick some schools. And then the last announcement, September 9th, the Veterans Memorial High School, an early college high school, will have their dedication at 9. So we'll have some activities. And again, we will share a lot of this with you and remind you as we get closer to some of these events. But that's it, Mr. Selly.
Construction report?
Construction, I think, Mr. Fields, any update on that one?
Yes, sir.
September
9th.
9th in the morning.
Yes, 9 o'clock at Veterans Memorial High School. It's Friday, I believe, on the 9th.
On time, under
Yeah,
budget,
it's
and
a
everything
Friday,
works, right?
Friday.
On time, under budget. Yes, sir.
Everything
And,
works.
We're 100% at Copperfield, about 99.9% at Veterans. And the only thing that we would talk about in terms of construction is that we're in the process of planning the corrections of the roofs from the hail damage that came through. And we've already gotten approval. We're just in the process of trying to figure out which roofs are the most critical that we need to start working on the quickest, as well as some of the HVAC units that are sitting on the roofs as well. The chiller problem at Justin High School gets all settled out and everything? Do you mind if I ask maintenance to come up and?
And we will fix the softball field, baseball field, and football field as soon as we can at Veterans Memorial Early College High School, right?
I've reminded Mr. Elizondo, he sometimes has a reputation of Mr. No, N-O, but we persuade him that some of it has to be Y-E-S. So we're working on that, and so we'll see what we can do.
He got beat up already tonight
Yep.
by me, so. Okay, Texas State Accountability Rating.
Again, finally, as best as possible, the state has been literally having major issues in Austin with ratings and test results and information with the company that they have, and I think they're going to revisit that whole world here in the next few months. But the bottom line is we'd like to do a brief presentation to you, and I think Ms. Taganaw is here, so go ahead, I'll turn it over to you.
Good evening.
Know how to put it on the screen.
Where's the keyboard?
He also does not.
No, where's the keyboard?
He's got it, sir.
Oh.
He's got it. Okay.
Thank
Oh, there
you.
it goes, okay.
So TEA did release our accountability ratings last week on Friday, and so we had a chance to kind of go over that. Our accountability ratings are based mostly on STAR test scores, but also there's components of post-secondary readiness, such as graduation rates. The accountability is broken up into 4 indices. Index 1 is student achievement. Index 2 is student progress. Index 3 looks at closing achievement gaps. And Index 4 is post-secondary readiness. So in order for districts and campuses to be rated as Met Standard, they must meet Index 1 or Index 2, along with Index 3 and Index 4. The state sets target scores for each of those indices, and the campuses must meet or exceed those in order to meet the Met Standard rating. This year, or last year, the math scores for STAR in grades 3 through 8 did not count for accountability. Neither did STAR A, the online test version, or the STAR alternate test version. All of those did not count last year, but this year they were included in our accountability ratings. In addition, Phase 2 standards went into effect this year, which basically means that the passing standard went up. You have in your packet a page that lists out how the campuses did specifically on each of the indices. Our district, Judson, met standard in all 4 indices, so we did meet standard. All the high schools were rated as Met Standard. All of our middle schools were rated as Met Standard. 17 out of the 18 elementary campuses were rated as Met Standard, and we had 1 elementary campus, Park Village, which was rated Improvement Required based on Index 3. We do have some updated accountability timeline items. Typically, when they release accountability, they also release the data tables, which tells us exactly how they calculated all of the results. That will be released by August 26th. Also, system safeguards, distinction designations, and the accountability summaries that campuses typically get, those will also be released by September 16th. Any questions?
Yes, I appreciate the presentation. Dr. Montoya, on these accountability ratings, this is the first year that we're seeing this based on the new scoring format and
Yeah,
so on.
because it goes up and they keep adding to it, that's correct.
When TEA provides data, sometimes they give us a comparative of what the state looked like, what the county looked like. Are we able to perhaps get something that might be similar to that to give us an understanding?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Saliba.
I just want to say, Dr. Montoya, thank you, your staff, our principals, our teachers, our clerical staff, everybody. I feel they worked very hard this year, sir, and it's right here. We got the results tonight, and thank you very much for the report. We're very proud of everybody. Thank you, sir.
And again, members of the board, respectfully, while we have one school that needs a little more, excuse me, they're working on a plan. So it's not out there that they're not going to do anything. They have a team. They have already met. Our people from CNI, Curriculum Instruction, has started stuff with them, the school itself, the principal. So it's going to be corrected. I mean, we have a good team of teachers and administrators. It'll be fine.
Anything else? Okay, let's go to 6B real quick. Got to read all these. Policy Update 105 affecting local policies, first reading. B1, BJCF local superintendent non-renewal. B2, BQ local planning and decision-making process. B3, CLB local building grounds equipment management maintenance. B4, CLE local building grounds equipment management flag displays. B5, CPL local office management record management. B6, DBA local employment requirements, restrictions, credentials, and records. B7, DFBB local term contracts non-renewal. B8, DFFA local reduction in force financial exigency. B9, DFFB local reduction in force program change. B10, EHBD local special programs federal Title I. B11, FDC local admissions homeless students. Those are all first reads. Board updates, any board updates? Go down the line.
I had a question regarding the policy discussion
Mhm.
we just read.
Go ahead.
Dr. Montoya, the policies we received in our packet were updated, but they're all local policies and they're all recommendations from TASB. Is that correct?
That is correct. In other words, they can, if they say legal, and obviously these don't, we cannot change any of the wording. It has to be as is, but these local ones can be revisited if, as a group of board members, there's an area you want to rewrite, to revisit, and then, of course, there's a process for that.
Who on our cabinet, or is it just you, that reviews the policy recommendations by TASB to see if they're applicable to our district, or do we just take them uniformly?
We do both. Some of us look at it a little bit, and I know Jackie does really a good job trying to see what we have, but we also, depending on the actual area, because as you can see, some of these are operations, some of this is, records, office, some of it's employment, so we will refer it to that person, to that department, to that group to look at it.
And I guess, does TEA also include, when they send this packet over officially, I guess I could look, I don't know the answer, but rationale to why the changes need to be made?
They have in the past kind of done a comparison and they'll make statements, but I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I haven't looked at this one to see what they have.
Well, I certainly would be interested. Just, I know we're in discussion, we're not voting on
Yeah,
this
and
item,
this
it's
is
a
a
first
first
reading.
reading, correct.
But certainly, just so we can take a look at it and
And
yeah, I see the deletes and so on, and I know what they're
Yeah.
taking out. There was one interesting one, as I was reading through it, that the commissioner now inserted that he can remove a superintendent, where that didn't seem to be before. And not arguing that he can
Yeah,
or shouldn't, but I just thought, well, that's pretty slanted towards more of TEA. So I wanted, and it's a local policy, not even, I mean, legally, I don't know what the legal policy looks like.
He has also, at a meeting 2 weeks ago, stated that if schools, quote-unquote, don't produce, he will intervene and remove principals and teachers. He will go directly in above and beyond a board, above and beyond a superintendent. So he has already gone on record saying, I'm going to be monitoring, and if certain schools don't produce, I'm going to intervene, and I'm going to do the following. Now, we'll see where that goes.
That seems pretty robust, and I can understand his concerns in areas of education. But since it is local policy, the board has authority then to rewrite, revamp, revise, or do whatever we need to. And so I want to make sure that the cabinet is looking at it so they can inform us, hey,
Yeah.
this doesn't make sense. It's just because we just got to check TEA. I mean, it's a
Yes.
checks and balance thing here. And local policy is our purview. We have that opportunity. So if I could have additional rationale from, I don't know, whoever you'd like to designate yourself, or that would be helpful, and we'll just take it from there.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Salinas.
Okay, Jackie, clarification. We have the 104 here, but actually, this is the one that we should be looking at. Is that correct? Okay. Now, Mr. Macias, if you remember, I believe now it's 4 years when we did a review of all the local policy by TASB. Was it TASB? Yeah, by
Yes,
TASB.
correct.
Because they had been there 6, 7, 8 years until we finally requested it. We spent one whole Saturday, 2 Saturdays here, I think, when they came by. Now, we can do that again, either later on throughout the year. We can request another one. but I believe this gives us the major points that he's asking about, the rationale or something, right? On this one, they tell you on every one that they send us.
The big change was House Bill 5 when
Yeah.
it came through. That's when we had to really redo things. And
Yes.
that's all been done, reviewed, and
Thank
made local and legal.
Yeah, and I agree, and sometimes I think that we don't look and we kind of give authority to entities that we really don't need to, and I'm really concerned that the commissioners, they're saying that he can come in and do whatever he wants. There's a governing body here, and I'm not willing to just give him that authority. So if local policy allows us to revise that, I certainly want to make sure that we look at that.
And also, based on local policy, districts can approve on a second reading what you have, but because it's local, you can always revisit it in the future. So it's not, once you approve it, it stays forever. You can revisit local at any time.
Mr. Flores?
And I just want to say that the commissioner, he's really going to be a hands-on commissioner. He's a millionaire that this is what he does now. I've served on 2 committees with him, and I know him personally, that I know he's looking at everything, not just our district, all the districts, And, we haven't had a commissioner like this in a long, long time. So there's going to be some movements there.
Okay, board updates. Mr. Salinas, anything?
No, not on the.
Okay, Ms. Bashaw?
No, sir.
Dr. Salinas?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Flores?
Nope.
Mr. LaFoil?
No, sir.
Mr. Macias?
Board updates, remind me what we're updating.
Okay. Committee, board, advisory, anything?
Advisory.
Okay, update on training, conferences, events, consider future items. Mr. Salinas?
Yes, sir, the convocation,
Yes.
Tuesday, I'm sorry, was great, and Dr. Montoya will say a little bit in a minute. It was just wonderful. Great. All the teachers seemed to be motivated and ready to go. I went to a couple of open houses tonight. Crestview, Salinas. I tried at Friends. Took me 25 minutes driving around. I couldn't find a space, so I'm sorry, sir. But my intention was to say hi, but I'll come to your open house whenever you all have it. Okay, agenda item. I would like to put an agenda item for the September board meeting concerning the transportation and maintenance management review that was made by TASBO.
Jackie, you just want a discussion item?
Yeah, just
Discussion
to
item
make sure
with
and read it.
maintenance?
We
Okay.
just got about read
Yeah,
it
right.
in one
Okay.
month, and then
Discussion
that way
item.
if we have any questions. Thank you.
Ms. Bashaw? Dr. Salinas?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Dr. Montoya, you want to talk about convocation?
Yeah, just very briefly, Miss Yvette Reyna and Tracy Dennis were really instrumental in putting it on, and so they worked pretty hard to make sure it happened. Just a quick comment, one of the TV stations told me, she said, I've gone to 7 of these, and this one was the best and the rowdiest. So it was good, it was good.
Mr. Flores, anything?
No.
Mr. LaFoil?
No, sir.
Mr. Macias?
Yes, for the agenda next in September, I'd like to re-examine our, I don't know, the behavioral issues. We've talked a little bit about that in previous meetings regarding what we're doing at the middle school level. I'm still interested in doing a comprehensive plan to address and support social issues within our middle schools. So I'd like to put that back on for discussion so that we can kind of get some direction on that. And additionally, I just found out today that our opening ceremony is September 9th, as Dr. Montoya said, for Veterans Memorial High School. A beautiful, great day, and I won't be there. So I'll actually be in D.C. as part of a scholarship for NALEO for education. So I'll miss it, but I know you guys will have a lot of fun.
Okay, we'll go to closed session real quick for personnel. This board now adjourned into closed session pursuant to the following section of the Texas Open Meeting Act, Government Code 551.07. No final action, discussion, or vote shall be taken while the board is in closed session. This board shall reconvene in open session after closed session and if necessary, vote on any decision. Jackie, 8:06.